Hello everyone, and in this tutorial what we're going to be doing is taking a look at delay effects within FL Studio, and we're just going to be going over a lot of the fine details about creating delay effects within FL Studio. I'm going to show you 4 different ways you can create delay effects within FL Studio, and I'm also going to give you a really good tip on where to download a nice delay plugin for FL Studio, a third-party delay plugin. We'll take a look at that too. So to get started, I'm just going to add 2 channels. I'm going to replace this sampler channel with the TS404, and then I'm going to right click here and I'm going to choose Insert 3X Oscillator. So we have 2 channels here, 3X Oscillator and TS404. Now with delay effects, starting with the 3X Oscillator, we have some built-in channel settings where we can apply delay effects. We'll start with this here. And notice on the TS404 though, we don't have that here. Not sure why it's not here for the TS404, but it really depends on what kind of instrument you're loading up, whether or not you're going to get this effect here. Do want to mention though, in the channel settings for most third-party plugins, let me do a Control F8 and load a synth here. This is a third-party synthesizer, doesn't come with FL Studio. Let me see if So this is a drum synth, but even with third-party plugins, you'll get this echo delay option. I actually have an echo delay on that here. And I just want to make you aware that you'll find this in some third-party plugins as well. That feature in the channel settings. With the TS404, it's not here. But to get started, all you have to do to activate the echo delay is just turn up the feed knob, and this will put a feed into the echo delay that's built into the channel settings. So we actually have an echo delay going on here. Now one issue we have with this is that this is a long instrument. And this is typically not the kind of instrument that's really good to use for echo delays, and that's why we were getting this kind of effect here, like that. We can take care of this. We can go to the instrument settings and create a short instrument by adjusting the attack, sustain, decay, and release. Once again, I mentioned this before in previous tutorials, but I do have another tutorial on attack, sustain, decay, and release. You might want to watch that if you're not sure what I've done here, but what I've done was I've created a short instrument hit here. Let me go back here, turn the feed down. So that's what the instrument's sounding like now. I just want to adjust the hold, and I'll set this to 1 step. So we have a really short instrument hit. Right now, back in the function tab, I can turn up my feed. Okay, and we get a decent delay there. Also going to go here, pitch this up a little bit. So notice how the type of instrument you have will affect how the echo delay is processed. Better for short instruments most of the time. So let's talk about this feed and what's going on here. And let me set this to 1 echo. Well, we'll set this to 3 echoes here. Right here, I have 3 echoes taking place. So we get the first hit, and then 3 echoes. Now with the feed, if we set the feed to 75%, well, we'll make it 50%. Notice right here in my hint bar, it says 50%. Also right here, if you don't like using the hint bar, you get feedback up here too. So I have my feed set to 50% here. That means with this input, it goes into the echo delay processor. With the feed turned down to 50%, I have 3 echoes playing. Each echo is going to sound 50% lower than the previous echo. So we got the first hit, then we get the second hit. It's going to sound 50% lower. So we're going to have an echo that's fading out, which is typically what an echo does. So pressing play here, that's the effect we have. want to show you, though, we can get a reverse effect on this. If I turn my feed down, input feed to 25%, and if I set my feed up to 150%, that means what it's going to do is it's going to take the input of the 3x oscillator, which right now is pretty low, and let me turn down the feed for a moment, just so you can hear. We have a very low sounding 3x oscillator going in there. Turning my feed up to 150%, we're going to get 3 echoes, each echo getting louder than the previous echo. So to hear that more, I'm going to set this to 5 echoes, and you can really hear that. All right, notice how that's getting increasingly louder. You might notice at the end here we're getting something that sounds a bit strange. All right, and that's because the echo is actually looping back over on itself. We have 5 echoes here, which is longer than the length of my pattern. So that's what the feed does. You can make the echoes fade out, which is typically what the echo delay should do. But if you want a different kind of effect, you can make the echoes increase louder. The next thing we're going to look at is the time. This is really important. Adjusting the time here, we get values that are whole numbers and decimals. All right, the whole numbers are steps. So this is one single step. When the delay time is set to 1, that means it's a 16th note echo. So if I set this to 1 echo, I'm going to turn off the feed. We don't have any echo delay or anything going on here right now. If I put a note right here, just like that, and press play, we have something that sounds like that. If I remove the note here, turn up the feed to 100%, that means there's not going to be any change in velocity with each repeating echo. What we're going to get is that exact same sound. We have 1 echo at a 16th note. All right, notice how that works. Let me turn that feed down. If we wanted something like 1, 2, 3, I'd have to put 3 echoes in, set my time to 1 for 16th note, change echo to 3, and then we'll have that same thing going on. I got to turn my feed up 100%. All right, and obviously if I make my feed 50% here, it's going to fade out. Setting time to 2, that means we're going to get an echo every 16th note. All right, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's going to sound like that. Okay, so that's how the time works. Nothing too complicated there going on here with the time. One thing, if you want even shorter delays, you can lower this down. We'll set the time to 12. Setting the time to 12 will give us a 30-second note delay. Very fast, short delay. All right, and this is useful. You can use that to fatten up a sound through the panning, actually. All right, notice how that has a fattening effect. It's almost kind of like a reverb effect. And that's what a reverb is, a very short delay. We even lower this down even more to, let's say, a 6. It's a 64th note delay. All right, it has a fattening effect. But it also does sound a bit like a reverb. And here, just a little more on timing. 16th note, dotted 16th would be 112. If you just remember, 12 is a 32nd. So you can get various timings here for your delays. Now, let's take a look at this pitch function here. With the pitch, this is in cents. Cents is a value, it's a small value of pitch, where 100 cents equals 1 note. So if we adjust the pitch to 100 cents, and let me just set this, I'll set this to 2. All right, we have the pitch set to 100 cents here. And I'm going to turn off the feed, and I'm going to explain to you actually what we're going to get with this. All right, I have number of echoes set to 3. Pitch is on 100 cents, so we're going to get 3 notes. And since the timing's set to 2, they're going to be 8th note echoes. So we'll have something like this, or the first, and then we'll have 3 echoes, 1, 2, 3 here. And then the pitch for each of these is going to increase up like this. So we should have something that sounds like that. And let's see if I'm right here. We can turn the feed up. I got the feed on 100% and pressing play. That's what we got. All right, if I set the pitch to 200 cents, that means every echo is going to go up 2 notes. All right, so this is actually going to stay within the C scale, doing it that way. All right, notice what's getting hit here. All right, going up 1200 cents, all right, we're going up an entire octave. So we'll have something like that. And these are filters. So this will filter each echo a little bit. Panning, we'll talk about this. This is pretty neat to use with the delays. And what we have going on here is I have my 3x oscillator panned left here. Let me set the panning all the way 100% left. All right, and I'm going to set the pan to 25% right. And I'm going to change this to 4 echoes. What we're going to get here is the input feed is going to come in panned all the way left, and then each echo is going to pan 25% more to the right. So we'll have an echo going from left to right. And then we do have the time here set to 2, so every 8th note, it's going to pan left to right with the echoes. All right. So that's the effect that we're getting with that. And that's pretty much it. Here with that.